So we'll begin with a period of quiet meditation. Try and find a comfortable posture. Bring your attention to the feeling of the in-breath and out-breath. You may pick that up at the tip of your nostrils. And the Buddha encouraged us to know the breath, whether it's a short breath or a long breath, and to know the full breath. So the beginning of the breath, the middle of the breath, the end of the breath. And this is where we're learning to pay attention, bring up the quality of mindfulness, clear comprehension. Because we haven't trained our mind in doing this all our life, as we begin to practice, straight away you'll see how easily your mind moves away from the breath and starts to think of other things. Whether it's immediate sounds, sensations in the body, or memories coming up. These seem more important to us, and that's why the mind moves off from the breath to follow them and think about these other things. You have to be very patient and keep coming back to the simple instruction and remind yourself of this instruction from time to time. To know the beginning, the middle, and the end of the breath. And the mind can be so agitated, you haven't even finished one breath, and already the mind is moving away, thinking about something else. You breathe in and it's gone, thinking again. You breathe out and then the mind goes off, thinking again. So we're learning to pay attention to our own breath at this time. Letting go of the past, the desire to plan and wish for things in the future, even the desire to be mindful, to become concentrated with samadhi. Can let that thought go. The aim is just to know the breath. Keep bringing attention to the breath and letting go of everything else so that our mind gets a rest. A rest from that endless moving around, struggling, following every sense impression, every thought. Now you can visualize it if you want, just letting everything drop. The Buddha said, like water in a pot, when you pull up water from a well, a deep well in the ground, you pour it into a pot. At first it's full of silt from the ground. But if you don't move that pot, eventually the silt, because of its own weight, will settle at the bottom and the water will become clear. In the same way, if you keep bringing attention back to knowing the in-breath, the out-breath, all the other things you want to think about will start to settle down. By non-attention, not giving them intention, not giving them importance, they start to fade out from your mind. If you persist with the practice, you keep putting effort in. We call this taming the mind. Because as you train in being mindful of each in-breath, each out-breath, you gain a little bit more control of your mind. But you can't force it. You have to do the work of paying attention to the breath and letting go of everything else. And you have to be patient as you do that, because it might take some time for this silt in the water or the thoughts in the mind to settle down. As you do it more, the breath becomes clearer to you. The feeling of it, the sensation. Awareness is more continuous, so you know the breath coming in, breath going out. And as the mind becomes more calm and stable, it brightens. As it brightens, you feel less tired, less sleepy, less distracted. And the mind naturally inclines more to the breath than to all the other thoughts. May also feel like your awareness expands to fill your whole body. So any thought that comes up seems to shrink in comparison to your expanded and continuous awareness. So as the thoughts shrink, then they seem less important. You know them, but you let them go. As the mind brightens with more continuous awareness, we feel some joy and happiness on the inside. And that's a great strength of mind, and it nourishes the mind. So as we get this nourishment and the mind feels stronger, brighter, more calm, it naturally gets easier to do the meditation. And even though there are still hindrances and obstacles coming up, they feel less of a problem for you. You become more aware of letting go of things, just turning attention back to the breath. keep meditating for a few more minutes and then we'll end the session.